So this is going to be kind of like an add-on to my previous video. I was going to talk about, so on my last video, towards the end, I was talking about loot boxes and gambling. That's what the entire video was about. Towards the end, I was talking about the implications that would be, the implications on loot boxes being classified as gambling on the gaming industry, because a lot of people are worried about that. And I was pretty much saying that, well, yeah, it would effectively kill the loot box system, because if you classify it as gambling, you have to prove you're over 21, first of all. And most states have gambling outright banned, so they would no longer be allowed to have loot box system in their game. And what I forgot to mention, or I didn't forget, I just decided not to because the video was long enough. Like, I kind of hate how YouTubers make unnecessarily long videos, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes. I usually try to stay 15 and below. That's my goal. Sometimes I go over, but I'm trying not to do that anymore. But I was going to mention loot boxes, the effect that a loot box ban, essentially, because that's what would essentially happen if loot boxes were regulated as gambling. What effect that would have on the industry. I was going to mention microtransactions as a whole, because that's another thing people don't like the GTA Shark cards and just having so many microtransactions. That would probably be amplified even more if loot boxes went away. They'd have to, since they're corporations, they're going to try to find some way to supplement that missing income that they used to have that they no longer have. Expect even more microtransactions, actually, if loot boxes go away. Now, some people mistakenly classify loot boxes and microtransactions as all in the same, but they're not. It's kind of like the relationship between the square and the rectangle. All squares are rectangles, but not all rectangles are squares. Yeah, I had to make sure I got that right, otherwise I'd be classified as an idiot if I mixed that up. Yeah, all squares are rectangles, but not all rectangles are squares. It's the same exact thing with loot boxes and microtransactions. All loot boxes are microtransactions, but not all microtransactions are necessarily loot boxes. Meaning, not all microtransactions would be classified as gambling, because with gambling, it's a game of chance. You don't know what you're going to get. And, I did touch upon this last video, so I'm not going to repeat the same talking points I made last time. But essentially, it would not mean, if loot boxes were regulated, it would not mean that that microtransactions as a whole would go away. Because shark cards are not gambling. Having, I remember in Black Ops 2, they used to sell individual skins. You're probably going to see more of that than before with the microtransactions, because if they got rid of loot boxes, like I said, they would probably have to increase the microtransactions so much. The reason why shark cards specifically are not gambling is because you're going to get this currency, and you could use that currency to buy specific in-game items. It's not a game of chance. That's why the casino in GTA 5 hasn't opened, because they wouldn't be able to do it. And the reason why the stock market isn't open in GTA 5 is because they want people to keep buying shark cards. So don't expect things to change all that much, really, in the gaming industry in terms of your bank account being sucked away. That's not going to change. It's just, instead of having this gambling system that definitely causes far more damage than the microtransaction system, we're still going to have a whole bunch of microtransactions, is really what's going to happen. If and when, I think it's going to happen, loot boxes get regulated and be classified as gambling. So I just wanted to clarify that, because some people like to classify those two things as the same. They're not. Loot boxes and microtransactions can be different. I mean, loot boxes are microtransactions, but comparing GTA Shark cards to loot box systems, like supply drops in Call of Duty, is disingenuous, and it's not true. They're not the same thing at all. They're completely different systems. So just keep that in mind. Yeah, I just wanted to talk about that a little bit. No need to make this video unnecessarily long. That's pretty much all I have to say, just to clarify things. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.